Hi guys, TFR Wilderness. It's the day after TFNation, for me anyway. Yeah, it's the Monday morning, and yeah, I'm back home. Got a haul to show you. As you can probably see, first thing I did when I got home yesterday evening was got my beard trimmer out and whipped off that beard because it's been driving me nuts, itchy, scratchy, horrible. But I decided to keep it going for the convention, so make the most of me, the bearded TFR Wilderness, because you probably won't see it in the next year's convention. Anyway, so now as I do this thing where I have a bot haul at the end of the month, because basically I'm going to be going over this stuff twice in the space of a couple of weeks. What I'm going to be doing here is, this won't be a full in-depth haul video. This will just be a quick show and tell. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. I know that's difficult for me because I like to ramble, but I'm just going to try to go through it quickly. I haven't opened the majority of stuff or played with it, so I haven't really got an opinion on the items that I bought. I mean, people was asking me at the end of the convention, oh, what was the best thing you bought? And I couldn't really say because I haven't actually played with the majority of the stuff that I bought. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. Right, obviously turned up on the Friday. I got there early because I wanted to do that that Double Dare panel where they showed you the Masterforce videos that are really badly dubbed. So I had to quickly get my pass, get my armband, which obviously I haven't got because I took it off. Obviously I'll probably show it in my my reflections video. Got my passes, but I had to then nip back to the panel and watch the panel. When I came out of the panel, I went and got my merch. So this year I pre-ordered the t-shirt and the book, and I got one of these pink bags. Ignore the badges because I got them later on. So obviously got my program, you know, it's all stuff like that, you know. Got the program. I ordered the usual tour t-shirts. So yeah, TFNation 2018, and it's got all the stuff on the back. So yeah, I got one of those pre-ordered, and I also pre-ordered the TFNation exclusive, like Ladybird style book, which is, you know, done in the style of the Ladybird books. So yeah, I got one of those. Haven't actually read it yet, so again I can't give an opinion on it. So let's get rid of that. So that was that, and then in the bar on Friday afternoon, a little YouTuber by the name of Rudy Zissou started walking around handing out free art former packs, and I happened to get one. So he gave one to me, and in it there are a couple of artist prints that he's done. So he's got like a drawing of Cyclonus, Scrap Heap, Ultra Magnus in some unusual colours, Reflector, Decepticons, and Devcon, who apparently was a character in an early episode, well, one of the episodes of Transformers, you know, G1 cartoon. I've never watched a G1 cartoon, so I didn't know who this guy was. I thought it was like a Captain America styley, you know, like a Transformers crossover type character. Apparently this guy was a genuine character in the show, but yeah, he's done that as well. So yeah, so I got given that. So thanks, Rudy. Thanks a lot. I mean, they're really great. You know, your art is pretty fantastic. Keep it up. And it was a pleasure meeting you. Anyway, obviously that was the Friday. So moving on to the Saturday. Saturday morning, I had breakfast, got and stood in line. I was not too far from the front. I had an idea of what I wanted to get off the bat. There was a couple of things on Toy Fu. So I went over to Toy Fu and I bought some bits. And first of all, I got the Toy Fu Masterforce Fanzine. Again, I haven't actually read it, but you know, I was glad to get one of those finally. And as Toy Fu had done that unboxing video a couple of months ago with Few Adams, where he bought a massive great lot of Transformers from Japan, they were unboxing it. When I watched that video, there was a couple of things that cropped up in that, and I thought, yes, I want to make a play on those. One of them was this Takara G1 Sixshot. I've been after Sixshot for a while. I wanted to go as a comparison with my Titans Return Sixshot. Since Titans Return Sixshot came out, every man and his dog wanted to get a G1 Sixshot for the same reason that I do, for a comparison with the Titans Return. As a result of that, the price of Sixshot's gone through the roof for used ones, and I paid 70 quid for this. Realistically, I wanted to pay 60, but 70 quid was near enough, so yeah, I got that guy. And then the other figure from the lot that I was really hoping to get hold of was a G1 Roadbuster loose. It's not quite complete. It's got most of the parts. It's got the wheel covers. It's got one of the guns. It's missing the missiles, missing the backpacks, missing those cage bars for the Jeep mode. But apart from that, it's complete. It's reasonably tight. It's in good condition, a little bit dusty, but for 40 quid, can't complain, especially when there was two other G1 Roadbusters. There was a box one for about 250, and there was a used complete one that Spacebridge had for 150. So I think 40 quid for this guy, even though he's missing a few accessories, is a pretty good deal, I think. And then while I was there, I also noticed another thing that I've been after for a while, a little G1 Beachcomber. Cage is a little bent, but nah, 5 quid, can't complain at that. Right, how are we doing? 6 minutes, good. Right, so then I literally marched straight over to Kapow. Bearing in mind, this was the opening moments of the haul, and it was absolutely heaving. You just couldn't move. There were so many people. There was rows like 2 or 3 deep at most of the main dealers. It was absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, so you could barely move. But I was stood at the Kapow stall waiting for ages to pay for this. But yeah, I got the Fansproject exclusive repaints of their Warbot Corebot. WB009 Severo core. So basically this is their interpretation of a war within Grimlock. I've got the titanium one. I'm waiting for Spark Toys to bring out their like Masterpiece-esque version, because I'll be definitely going for that. But yeah, so I got one of those. Then I went over to the Space Bridge because because I'd already bought a couple of G1 figures, and let's get some more G1 figures. Went over to the Space Bridge, had a look in their case, and finally got me a G1 Trailbreaker. I've been after this guy for a while because, Toyota Hilux, got to do it. I love my Toyota Hiluxes. Pretty good. The decals are a little bit worn, but bit of chrome wear on him. Joints are reasonably tight. He's not too loose. Came with a bag with all the accessories in, so paid 30 quid for him. So I was quite happy with that. Then what did I do? So right, I've got little cheat notes besides me. Right, now I went into this convention. I do this list keeping and numbering system with my collection. Every now and again I get to what I refer to as a centenary box. As you going through, you get to like 100, 200, 300, 400, and I refer to them as centenary bots. And centenary bots are special because I use them as a basis for doing my reviews when I reach that number of subscribers. When I did my 100 subscriber video, I did Terror Dive, which was my 100th bot, and 200 and 300. Well, I've only done the first 3 centenary bots, but anyway, I knew I was going to hit bot 900 on the Saturday morning. I deliberately didn't keep a note of the numbering, so I didn't know who it was going to be, but it's somebody special. I went over to Kapow and got me a Masterpiece Sunstreaker. This guy is now my 9th centenary bot. He is bot 900, so that makes him extra special. Paid 80 quid for him, which is a bit high for one of these figures, but you know what Takara are doing with their price hikes lately, so you could easily pay way more for this buying it online. So I was reasonably happy to pay this price for it. Again, I haven't opened it, haven't played with it yet, so I will do a more in-depth thing on it at the end of the month, but I'm just trying to whip through this quickly. So I got that. Then what was it? Right, yeah. Then it was... so I got him from Kapow. Then I went to the Nottingham Robot Company. There's a couple of Studio Series figures that I've been after. I got my Studio Series Megatron beginning of the month, so you'll see that in my end of month bot haul. But yeah, Jazz and Lockdown. Yeah, Studio Series, Jazz and Lockdown. I've been after these guys. Prices of these at the convention, I mean, there's some people doing them for like 25 quid. Nottingham Robot Company was doing them for 22. If I wait for these to come out at Smith's, they'll be like £20.99. So, yeah, the price is doable. If you bought these online, you'd pay more than that. So, that price was okay. And there was, in my opinion, there was a bit of price fixing going on at TFNation this year with a few figures from certain retailers, but I might go into that in more detail when I do my end of month bot haul or my reflections video later this week. So that was that. Lockdown route, right? Yeah. So now I went over to see my mate Sid, Mr. Sydney Beckett, aka Sino Kibble, who's my comic guy. I'll be seeing him again on Friday and having a bit of a chinwag from him about the convention. Yeah, went over to Comic Connections in the far corner and I'm having a rummage around with the loose figures, and I thought, there's a figure that I wouldn't mind. A little Dark of the Moon Roadbuster. That's the second Roadbuster I got this convention. I'm a bit disappointed that this has got like the, you take the weapon off and it's the full NASCAR mode without the the weapon sticking out like they did on Topspin. And obviously I've got a KO of the Deluxe Leadfoot, which is also in that mode. It's a shame they didn't do this guy. The Human Alliance version of this has got the weaponized mode, and I'd like to get hold of that because apparently that's an amazing figure. But yeah, I've got this guy. I've got the little MechTech weapon, so he was 12 quid. And while I was there, I noticed on the stack, the shelves on the back, he had Masterpiece, Frenzy, and Buzzsaw. So I need this, to complete my Masterpiece cassettes for my Soundwave. I haven't, my Soundwave when I got it, it might have been another Centenary bot. Unfortunately, I bought something else before it and messed that up. But it was, it just came with the Laserbeak, so I've been having to buy the other Masterpiece cassettes separately. So yeah, pick them up. Apparently this is used, but again, I haven't opened it and had a look at it, so hopefully it'll be all right. Then that was that. Then I think I went back to the bar and sort of hung around for a bit, and then later on in the afternoon, I decided to come out again and have another mooch, and went over to Kapow and finally pulled the trigger on Mastermind Creations' Tyrantron. Been meaning to get this guy for a while. Whenever I've seen him before, he's been over 100 quid. Kapow was doing it for 95 quid, which is a bit unfortunate because on the Sunday they were selling off their remaining copies for 90 quid. They knocked it down a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. I'm still happy with the price I paid for this. So yeah, I've got Tyrantron. And I had to nip back to the room because I didn't think I had enough money. But as it happened, I did have enough money because I saw something else while I was on the Kapow stand. And it's the last thing I bought on the Saturday. Magic Square Fire Extinguisher. Yes, their little Legend Scale Inferno. I'd seen reviews on this. Blown away with how amazing it is. I've actually got this guy out and had a little play with him, and he's brilliant. He's fantastic. Keeping my eye on Magic Square because they've put out some announcements recently of new figures that are coming, including an Ultra Magnus and a Huffer, both characters that I like to collect. So I'll be making a play on those as and when they appear. But yeah, got this. They had a bunch more of these on the Sunday. 25 quid I paid for this. Very good price because if you have to buy this guy online, you're talking 30-35 quid with the postage and all that. So I was quite happy to pay that with it. Yes, it's only a small thing, but the build quality on it's brilliant. It's got articulation like you wouldn't believe for something so small. Yeah, so really liking him, and he was the last item that I bought on the Saturday. So one more thing that I got on the Saturday. In the bar Saturday afternoon after the dealer hall had closed, sitting with friends talking, and then Dorian walks over, Mr. Vigadeath, and hands me a copy of the RRCO Volume 2. So thanks, Dorian, thanks for that. It's nice to get one at the convention this time, whereas last year I missed out on it and Dorian sent me one through the post. Yeah, so I was really glad to get it. I've had a quick flick through it. It's, yeah. Eye-watering is not the word. But then again, Mr. Ben Watson likes his G2 and its lurid colours, and so you can understand that. But yeah, really thankful to get one of those. So thank you, Mr. Vigadeath, much appreciated. Okay, quickly moving on. While I was in the bar on Saturday night, I noticed a couple of things. I noticed Natalie All in a Blur had picked up a figure that I was unsure as to whether I wanted to get, and when I saw the price that was on it, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for one of those on Sunday morning if there's any left. And my mate James Lai on Me and Max Love Toys had a big expensive figure on his stall that I'd noticed going around on the Saturday, and I thought, you know what, I might make a play on that on Sunday. And then in the bar, I saw somebody walking around with one, and I thought, as his was, I thought was the only one I'd seen at the convention, I thought, bloody hell, someone's bought it. I've missed out on that. But come Sunday morning, got into the dealer hall, and I went straight over to James and Max Me Love Toys, and he still had it in stock. I think he had a couple of these. Oh, finally got me Mastermind Creations Carnifex. I've missed out on this guy a couple of times before. He's a big expensive bot, so he goes right onto my list of top 10 most expensive toys. Yeah, I've been after this guy for a while. I've missed out on him previously. 155 quid James was doing these at. He couldn't do me a discount because James, being a mate, he usually does me a little discount when I buy stuff from him, but he couldn't do that this time because he was selling this on behalf of somebody else, so that's fair enough. 155 quid. I mean, this thing, when you see it online, I mean, Kapow do it for 179.99, and you see it going for 170, 180 quid, or 200 plus, depending on where you're buying it from. So I was reasonably happy with 155 quid. I doubt if I'd have got it for a better price than that. So yeah, finally got hold of Carnifex. And then I went back to see Mr. Kibble. I went back to see Mr. Beckett, Sid. And yeah, I finally bought me an Unrustable. So yeah, he's one of the Mayhem Mechanics guys. He's one of the guys who's been behind these things and doing the Kickstarter campaign and all that. I was speaking to him in the bar. Unfortunately, because he wanted to bring more Unrustable stuff up to the convention, sort of like pre-production exclusives, but they were being held in customs or something, and he couldn't bring them, so he only had a handful of the original Kickstarter sets to sell. But 75 quid. Like I said, Natalie had one in the bar on Saturday night, and I saw the price tag on it, 75 quid, and I thought, you know what, I can definitely do it with that. And it also came with Brucey bonuses. It came with a nice exclusive sticker and some extra head parts. So yeah, I've finally gone into the Unrustables. But I was waiting for the comic to come out because I wanted to read the comic to get involved in the fiction behind these guys. But I couldn't resist that. I just couldn't. So that was item number 2 on the Sunday. Right. Now it was getting to the point where I bought the majority of the stuff that I really wanted, and I was like wandering around and said, right, what other things are there out there that I can get? And there's still a few G1 figures that I'd like to make a play on. I was walking around, went to Beyond Technologies, and I was with Damien, Mr. Sugar King Dino, walking around with him on the Sunday, and I spied something on this guy's store, and I thought, well, yeah, I like the character, so I might as well get his G1 original. So yeah, finally got me a G1 Thundercracker. It came with a bag with all his bits. 45 quid. No, wasn't it? No. 55 quid paid for this. He's in really good condition. Nice tight joints. Decals aren't too bad. Yeah, so quite happy to get hold of him. I'm running out of place to put stuff. And that was from Beyond Technologies. Then wandering around again. Wandering over to Toy Foo again, looking on their store, and I saw something. There's a character I like. There's a figure that I've been after. Animated Ultra Magnus. Yeah, I've been after this guy for a while. It was 45 quid. He is pretty much complete as far as I can tell. I did transform this thing last night, so I had a quick go with it. Build quality wise, he's very very similar to this guy, I think, in terms of his build and construction. You know, Universe Onslaught. He's very similar, very chunky, very tactile, very tight tolerances, getting the arms to squeeze into the cab unit for the truck mode, but really big, chunky, heavy bot. Brilliant. Been after him for a while, and yeah, what was it? Yeah, for 55 quid. No. Yeah, so that was 45 quid from Tote. Then I went over to the Space Bridge and was sort of looking in their glass cases for a few things, and saw a couple of bits, sort of later figures. As I'd got the G1 Beachcomber, I was like to get hold of a Universe one, so got Universe Legends Beachcomber. So he was a $5. And on the Saturday afternoon, I was sort of hanging out with Chris and Natalie in the bar, and I had a bunch of toys on the table that these kids were playing with, and there was one of the figures that he'd picked up, and I was having a go with it because I'd sort of been halfway interested in getting this mould, but I hadn't had a hands-on with it. But I had a go with it in the bar, and I thought, you know what, I can do this. Reveal the shield, because it's got a rub symbol on it. Reveal the shield Deluxe G2 Laser Optimus Prime, like the Generations one. Yeah, very interesting mould. I don't usually collect Optimus Prime figures, even though I have got a bunch of them. Yeah, but I think that with Optimus, you know, he has so many different moulds. It's, you know, the very interesting moulds that come out, and this is one of them. It's different. So I decided to get one of those, and I paid, was it 20 quid for that from the Space Bridge? So yeah, I got one of those. So now we're getting down to, you know, the dregs. I still had plenty of money left. I still had, I think it was about 180 quid left at that point. Yeah. So then something I said in my pre-convention video, the Forge. I really wanted to go into the Forge, have a good mooch around the Forge, and buy some bits from some of these artisans who make stuff for the Forge. So yeah, I did go around on the Saturday briefly, had a quick look, but I didn't actually buy anything. But on the late Sunday morning, I thought, you know what, let's go over to the Forge. I've bought about as much plastic as I can handle. I've still got plenty of money left and a pocket full of loose change. Let's see what we can pick up in the Forge. So I went round, and the first guy I came to was Transmaster UK, and I'd seen these on the Saturday. Daily Straxus. Now, I remember Straxus from the G1 comic. I remember what happened to him. He kind of had a profound effect on me when I was reading the comics back in the day, because you know, he was kind of the big boss on Cybertron while the other Decepticons were on Earth. He was a big fat tyrant. He ruled with an iron fist. And then you had the Autobot underground movement, mainly led by, you know, sort of Emirate, Zaran, and Blaster. And the things came to a head, and Blaster had a big battle with him on a prototype Space Bridge. The Space Bridge got damaged. Straxus got zapped and blown up, and his head was recovered, still alive, and it was put in basically like a fishbowl and kept alive on state and on life support. And then later on, when Megatron came to Cybertron, he basically transferred his consciousness into Megatron and drove Megatron stark raving mad, because it was, you know, two minds in one body, and so all that went on. But anyway, but this is a what if when Straxus was, you know, a disemboweled head in a fishbowl, his daily life. So it's the Daily Straxus, and I thought that was pretty sweet. So I bought issue 1, issue 2.1, and issue 2.2. So I got those, and they were, what they were, let me think, yeah, 7 quid for those 3 books. And then while I was there, I noticed they had the Toy-Fu fanzine from 2016, the Rock Lords one, and I regretted not getting hold of these for the previous years. So they had one of those, and that was £1. So yeah, picked that up. And also while I was there, he had a comic. I had a quick flip through it, and it looked kind of interesting. So I bought this nice glossy comic that they've made, a fan comic, and that was £4. So I bought that, and they came from Transmaster UK. Then I walked around a bit more, and then some lady, Ladybird, I think her name was, looked at stuff on her stall, and yeah, she had a bunch of badges, so I stuck them to the bag, so you've already seen them. Rescue bots. So I've got all 4 of the rescue bots. I've got Heatwave, Blades, Boulder, and Chase. So yeah, she had a bunch of characters, mostly animated, because she likes drawing art in the animated style. In fact, she had a you know, like a book full of her artwork that was basically all animated, you know, animated drawings, animated style drawings of Lost Light and Optimus Prime, no, IDW characters basically, and that looked really interesting. But I didn't go for that, so I bought some badges from her instead, and they were £10 for the 4, so £2.50 each. And then where did I go? Then I went to Web Illustration and picked up another one of the old Toy Fu fanzines. This is the one from last year. Again, didn't manage to get one of these. It was the 15th anniversary of Armada, the Jam issue. Yeah, so I finally got one of those. £4 he asked for this, but then again, it has got some signatures on it, and I'm not sure whose signatures those are. But yeah, so I finally got one of those. So I've picked up the the Toy Fu fanzines that I missed out on. And then last couple of things. I decided to go take one last sweep round the hall on Sunday afternoon. Went over to In Demand, got me Takara Legends RC, because I haven't got a version of the Generations RC mold. So yeah, so she was £25, so I got hold of that. And the final thing I bought, back to Beyond Technologies, I was looking at these loose figures in bags on the table, and I spied some G2 Dinobots. And I asked him, I said, have you got G2 Grimlock? And he's had a rummage around, and yes, you do. So as the convention was G2 themed, so my last bot that I bought at TFNation was a G2 bot. So yeah, I've been meaning to get this guy, especially after I got Grinder, G2 Grinder. So I've been meaning to get hold of the G2 original. How much was he? £55? Oh no, £45. Comes with instructions and his sword and his gun. He's in pretty good condition. He's only got one slightly loose leg. Decals are in good nick. A little bit of chrome wear, but apart from that, he's in pretty sweet condition. So he was the last thing that I bought at TFNation this year. Now, I didn't say in my pre-convention video how much money I was taking, but I took £1,000. I managed to save up £1,000. And I didn't spend it all. I actually came home with money in my pocket. When I got home, I had over £75 in my pocket. So that's unheard of. I didn't spend all my money. So yeah, it was for the stuff I bought on the Saturday. It was like was it £501, and then it was 476 or something like that. I spent on the Sunday. But anyway. Yeah, so that's my haul, just under 30 minutes. You wait till I do the end of my bot haul, where I actually talk about this stuff at length after I've had to play with them. So yeah, that's been me TFR Wilderness. Hopefully this is the first TFNation haul that's been put out there. Hope you've enjoyed it. I will be doing a reflections video in a couple of days' time. I'm off this week, so I'll have plenty of time to do videos. So without further ado, let's end this video, and I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.